If you don't know who I am, my name is Natasha Phipps. I am a investor-focused realtor, a real estate investor, a proud mom, wife, and Calgarian, and team leader of Phipps Real Estate Group. And we are investor-focused realtors here in Calgary. So we do these socials every month to try to bring you some sort of value, some expertise, some great public speakers, and tonight is no different.
Whoa.
Oh, who's that? Your mic might be on when you first came in, just FYI. So tonight we are joined by a very, very special guest, Leslie Shier from Calgary Economic Development. And we are so excited to have her because we know how much of a busy woman Leslie is. So we're going to bring her in just a couple of minutes. I'm just going to get you guys to mute yourselves, make sure you're ready for the presentation. This is just a little bit more about our group. I think most of you in here know who I am, but yeah, we are the Phipps Real Estate team here in Calgary. Most of the team is here tonight as well, so they'll be chatting in the chat. If you need anything at all in terms of real estate in Calgary and area, please let us know. And if you are not in our Facebook group yet, Calgary Real Estate Investing, please go over to the group and join. That's where we first post everything, events, what's happening, deals, opportunities, post questions in there. We want you guys to use this group as much as possible. I think we have about 2,200 members right now and growing. And it's just a great place to go and get your questions asked in a really supportive environment. So please go check that out. And then our website, there, phippsgroup.ca. And then the recordings and events that we do put on our YouTube channel as well, Calgary Real Estate Investing. So if you haven't subscribed to that, please go subscribe to that. And I think we are ready to get started. We've got, oh, Michael from Montreal. Hi, Liz. Good to see everybody. Seems like Nadine keeps getting kicked out here. Okay, so on to, I know who you all want to hear from, Leslie joining us here tonight. I'm just going to read her brief bio, and then I'm going to turn it over to her to take over the presentation from there. But Leslie Shier is Director, Client Excellence at Calgary Economic Development, where she leads a team in talent attraction, talent retention, and commercial real estate. Leslie is a born and raised Calgarian and has 3 sons who all live, work, and play in Calgary, Alberta. So thank you so much for being here tonight, Leslie. We are very excited to have you.
Thank you very much for inviting me to speak to your group. So I am within the Corporate Initiatives and Intelligence Unit at Calgary Economic Development. I've been working there for 6 years. My background is in commercial real estate, but I have been in the area of talent attraction and talent retention since 2019.
Wow.
Our team are responsible for assisting clients with commercial real estate needs and talent attraction and retention. So Calgary Economic Development is an opportunity maker. It's helping to spark Calgary's economic growth and diversification. Our job is to connect people with resources to help them grow their careers or businesses, to thrive in new locations or markets, and to feel at home in our welcoming and inclusive community. So we offer a wealth of information to help everybody succeed as we tirelessly promote Calgary in Canada and around the world. So we're exhilarated about our role in sharing and shaping Calgary's story. The Client Excellence team at Calgary Economic Development is dedicated to commercial real estate and talent attraction and retention. I can see this first slide needs work. I've already said that like 3 times, sorry. We're focused on a client-centered model where all of our activities undertaken and relationships developed contribute to the end goal of supporting company growth and hiring talent in Calgary and from around the globe. Next slide, please. Calgary is building on our strengths to prepare for the future. We have talent, industry diversity, quality of life, and cost competitiveness to accelerate companies' growth. We're here to support the success in Calgary. Next slide. We have an economic strategy titled Calgary in the New Economy, which focuses on the following foundational pillars of brand, innovation, business environment, talent, and livability. Under brand, the work our team is doing with our award-winning brand and talent attraction campaign, Live Tech, Love Life, proves we can make an impact on the perceptions and drive positive awareness for our city. Our research, which goes into markets across North America and Europe, shows that 73% of workers now have a positive impression of our city. 68% see Calgary as a diverse and inclusive city. And there was a 13 percent point increase in those who would consider moving to Calgary in just 1 year. So business leaders are even more enthusiastic. 90% now have a positive impression of Calgary. 74% believe Calgary is becoming a hub or a tech and innovation. Something is happening in Calgary, and people are taking notice. Just look at the StatsCan data released a few weeks ago. It confirmed more people are moving to Alberta, and most notably, the 20s and 30-year-olds are leading the charge. So those people who believe that they can see a future for themselves here. Next slide, please. Why Calgary? We have the opportunity, the talent, and the ecosystem. We have a low-cost environment and a superior quality of life. When we focus on talent, we look to retrain, retain, and recruit. Under retain, the high impact for Calgary post-secondary graduates in fast-scaling tech companies. Under retraining, there's upskilling Calgary talent to future-proof our workforce for the most in-demand tech skills. And under recruiting, it's about attracting the top talent to Calgary by developing recruitment strategies nationally and globally. Next slide, please.
Just to be sure, Leslie, so you're on Calgary's for Decision Makers right now?
Oh, no, I was on a Calgary has a tax advantage, but I can go to.
Yeah. No, but now you're on Calgary for Decision. I think I might have been one ahead of you. Okay, so you're on tax advantage now.
Yes.
Okay, we're there. Good. Sorry, just want to confirm.
No worries at all. Thank you. So if you're looking at Calgary's tax advantage, it's clear we have a tax advantage. No payroll tax, no healthcare premiums, no machinery and equipment tax, no land transfer tax, and the lowest corporate income tax rate in Canada.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Next slide, please. Calgary's for Decision Makers. So we're both a headquarters city and an entrepreneurial city. So it's the best of both worlds. And we don't look to attract all companies around the world. We go after the ones that belong in our right to win sectors. So let's talk about what those sectors are now. Next slide, please. Agribusiness. Our province has long been known to be a key producer of agriculture. So agribusiness is booming in Calgary and the surrounding region. Calgary is a major city with multimodal direct access to large-scale agricultural operations. There is a critical mass of anchor companies that call Calgary home. Nutrien, TELUS Agriculture, Cargill, BASF, and UFA. Potential home of the world's largest vertical farming operation in a downtown core and the first vertical farming training incubation center. That's happening in downtown Calgary. Potential Canadian leader for the regional plant protein processing capacity. We have access to top talent in Canada for agriculture, with more than 22 facilities in Alberta playing an important role in agriculture research and innovation. The Calgary Olds Smart Agri-Food Corridor, which is a 2,000-acre smart farm to improve agriculture productivity and efficiently use resources. Our access to raw commodities allows us to export agricultural and food products to over 150 countries. 40% of Canada's beef is produced in Alberta, 31% of Canada's pulses, and 45% of Canada's field peas. Next slide, please. Energy and the environment. We have exceptional natural resources. Oil and gas solar, wind, geothermal are all part of our energy and environment sector. Did you know that over 70% of Calgary head offices are focused in the energy sector? Some of Calgary's anchor companies are Suncor, Cenovus, Greengate Power, Avatar Innovations, and Valaudier. On a net zero pathway, Alberta will create 170,000 more jobs and contribute 61 billion more in annual GDP by 2050. Net zero targets dictate high market spend on decarbonization pathways. So $20 billion spend on carbon capture, utilization, and storage by 2030, $13.5 billion spend on renewables by 2035, and a $2.4 billion will be spent in digitization by 2024. With the growth of sustainable development across the world, Calgary was ranked one of the top 30 out of 280 clean tech ecosystems. Our community has the talent, the market, and the innovation support to solve global challenges. We have a high concentration of experienced engineers with deep industry knowledge. Next slide, please. Life sciences. The Alberta Advantage. We're home to Canada's first and largest province-wide, fully integrated healthcare system, resulting in a unique single window for data and patient access. With research and clinical expertise and a critical mass of companies leading the development of innovations that are solving critical health challenges, there is a significant opportunity for life science companies to leverage Calgary's world-class research assets and commitment to investment. We have the world-class International Microbiome Centre and currently in development, Canada's largest cancer research centre, slated for completion in 2023-2024. We have a vibrant ecosystem, including our Life Sciences Innovation Hub, that supports commercially viable products and services get to market by providing access to infrastructure, expertise, and startup services. Calgary is home to more than 120 health and life science companies. Some of the anchor companies are Providence Therapeutics, Circle Cardiovascular, Orphix, and Scientra Inc. Next slide, please. Transportation and logistics. Our multimodal market access reaches 11 million customers in a typical truck scheduled day. And via air, Calgary connects to 140 destinations with 85 plus direct passenger and cargo routes to Asia, Europe, and the Americas. Calgary offers the quickest and has the lowest overall cost of operations relative to other regional logistics hubs due to the low inbound transportation costs. Calgary is home to an all-in-one 3D robotics-based fulfillment system that transforms aisles and rows into a single storage and retrieval structure. Some of the anchor companies in this sector include Amazon, CP Rail, Bison Transport, DSV Global Transport, Adibotics, Rutique, and Pacific Western Transportation. Next slide, please. Aerospace and defense. Our robust engineering capabilities can serve avionics and advanced manufacturing. 25% of all Canadian UAV, geospatial, data collection, and analysis, GPS firms are headquartered in Alberta. Anchor companies in this sector include Hexagon, Arcfield Canada, WestJet, Arium Analytics, Raytheon Technologies, Lockheed Martin, CDL Systems. Test sites in Alberta for Beyond Visual Line site of testing as well as for defense research and development. Calgary also acts as a living lab using city-owned assets and infrastructure for companies to develop, test, and validate their technology in real-world conditions. We have a strong pool of talent with expertise in remote sensing, geospatial technologies, data analysis, data visualization, and systems integration. Several multinational defense contractors call Calgary home. Next slide, please. Financial services. We have a large pool of talent in the areas of financial services, cybersecurity, wealth management, and customer service. The financial services sector always supports headquarter locations. Calgary has been a leader in the financial services arena for decades. Calgarians have the highest potential income, personal income, and Calgary has the highest number of millionaires per capita in Canada. Fintech companies are first movers in Canada. Biometric banking, sending real-time payment using blockchain, home to one of 6 horizontal payment facilitators in the world. Next slide, please. Interactive digital media. Interactive digital media is an emerging sector that is really taking off. 489 million in GDP generated by the digital media sector in Calgary. Over 100 companies are already working in the e-learning space. Our headquarter culture creates consistent demand for digital advertising services and commercial digital content creation. 27% of digital media companies expected significant growth, 40% or more in the next year. 60+ companies are working on video games and/or immersive media products and services. And 70% of interactive digital media companies reported expected growth in 6 months or less. Unity Developers is developing a significant supply of talent. Thin Air Games will provide support, funding, and expertise needed for 50 new gaming ventures to successfully build and launch their products over the next 5 years. Calgary Game Developers Association will help you build your workforce. Programmers, artists, sound designers, writers, and acquire the expertise you need. Active streamers. Calgary's Twitch community of members and streamers is one of the most active networks in Canada. Next slide, please. Creative industries. Our production spending in the creative industries topped 520 million in the Calgary region in the past year, with Calgary Economic Development facilitating 123 projects and more than 500 filming permits. Creative industries creates over 24,000 jobs in Calgary in over 4,400 businesses. The screen-based industries, specifically film and television, have experienced high growth, reaching over 250 million in production activity in 2021. Calgary is Canada's 4th largest filming jurisdiction, and the Calgary region accounts for over 80% of Alberta's film, TV, and commercial production. Included in those projects were some high-profile productions, such as HBO's The Last of Us, the reboot of the children's classic Fraggle Rock, and other series for streaming services Apple TV and Netflix. For infrastructure in Calgary, we have our Calgary Film Centre, you can see on the slide here, with award-winning crews and talent. Next slide, please. Now that we've reviewed the sectors, let's showcase digitization, as it is a fundamental driver in Canada's economy, and Calgarians are leading the digital transformation in Alberta. Investment in digitization of all aspects of energy, power and utilities, oil and gas, in Canada is forecast to total more than 12 billion through 2022, with 5.8 billion in Alberta. Agribusiness is forecast to be the fastest adopter of the digital transformation, growing by approximately 25% through 2022. And digital transformation spend in Alberta's life science sector is projected to be 1.3 billion, growing at an annual rate of over 21% per year. Alberta's creative industries sector has spent 2.4 billion on digital transformation between 2019 and 2022, which accounts for approximately 19% of Canada's spend in this sector. Next slide, please. Calgary's companies are digitizing. The fourth industrial revolution is here. Advances in big data, artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, and high-performing computing are changing the way organizations compete and evolve. Take UPS, which developed a data and AI-driven system to create optimal routes and increase delivery speed. As a result, the company improved customer experience, cut fuel costs, reduced emissions, and now saves an estimated 300 to 400 million annually. Meanwhile, the Postal Service still struggling to keep up. In fact, 79% of executives reported an increase in digital transformation budgets in response to COVID-19, and 69% of companies surveyed indicated they will spend the same amount or more on such efforts as compared to 2021. Next slide, please. Investments into Calgary. Bangalore-based Emphasis Ltd, a global IT giant, announced plans to partner with the University of Calgary to create a quantum center of excellence. Quantum computing uses the principles of quantum physics to solve problems. It's considered to be a huge leap forward from traditional computer technology and futuristic applications in the fields of medicine, energy, fintech, logistics, and more. There have also been a number of significant tech-related announcements, specifically in Calgary in recent months, including from RBC, which plans to open their Calgary Innovation Hub in the city, bringing 300 jobs over 3 years. Amazon reported that it will invest 4.3 billion by 2037. The company chose Calgary because it's well placed in the region. It's connected to national and international infrastructure. It offers access to renewable energy that will help allow the company to fulfill its emission reduction goals. That was said by the head of AWS Canada. Our previous Premier, Jason Kenney, hailed Amazon's announcement as a game changer for the Alberta economy. Finally, Lynx Air, we're thrilled to announce they established their headquarters in Calgary, and they're hiring as we speak. Next slide, please. It's important for us to share with you what companies have to say and why they decided to invest in Calgary. The support the government provides to companies and talent helps both communities grow. Government funding for educational training programs and wage subsidy programs assist in growing the tech talent community. People can look at Calgary not only for their first job, but for a lengthy, successful career. Next slide, please. We all know there's a global war for talent. So often around the conversation is tech talent. It's important to understand that tech overlays all industries. It is no longer an industry itself. Therefore, occupations like sales, finance, digital marketing are equally on the rise and much needed in Calgary. And when we talk of skills training programs, we do not only speak about tech, but other occupations as well, like marketing and sales programs, power skills training, etc. There's also newcomer programs to support newcomer success in Calgary. They're plentiful. There are tech bridging programs women in tech programs, and many more. You could visit www.livetechlovelife.com for more information on the opportunities in the various sectors in Calgary, as well as the skills training program. We're really proud of our Live Tech Love Life site, so I hope you spend some time looking at it. Next slide, please. Artificial intelligence and machine learning. Alta ML is transforming the way you think about artificial intelligence. Their program creates dynamic partnerships to provide real-world use cases, data, mentorship, AI talent incubation to provide insight and drive AI integration in business. Teams are structured around industry-led projects, guided by machine learning mentors to provide working models to support informed strategic decision-making around the use of AI technologies in business. They offer the experience of what it's like to apply AI to real-world industry problems. People can learn how to define use cases, communicate with industry partners, build machine learning models through mentor-led teams. They strategically partner with businesses building and scaling their data science teams. Their partners are focused on and investing in deploying applied AI solutions that can enhance their core operations through digital transformation programs and inform strategic decision-making around the use of AI technologies. Next slide, please. A maturing innovation ecosystem. Why does this matter? Tech is a strategic piece of every industry within the innovation ecosystem. So let's talk about the innovation ecosystem in Calgary. Let's talk about the difference between emerging and high tech. So emerging technology is about technologies that are not quite commercialized. So like the Hyperloop or complete self-driving cars, for example. High tech is about technologies that are at the most advanced stage available. EVs, 3D printing, etc. So I'd love to share a quick story about a Calgary company called Exergy Solutions. So when COVID hit, health systems around the world faced numerous challenges, including talent, equipment availabilities, and more. Like we mentioned, Calgary is all about solving the world's greatest problems. So this company led the charge to print 3D ventilators to support the health systems in Calgary and Alberta. There was great collaboration with companies to make this happen. So we're really proud of the companies and their contribution to the city and its people. Their ability to strategize, design, build, and deploy quickly has proven once again as they venture into the virtual reality products to support oil field workers. Next slide, please. The 10-year projected in tech company growth in Calgary is huge. You can see our goal to create 45,000 jobs by 2031. Companies like Replicon, ShareWorks, Shaw, many others are celebrating their success in Calgary. Next slide, please. You can see technology and digital talent here. You can see that the talent in Calgary, Vancouver, and Toronto are all paid comparatively. The difference that we point out here is the cost of living in various jurisdictions. At the end of the day, it's all about the net dollars each family has to create the quality of life that they'd like to enjoy in which the city they live. Calgary is clearly a front runner when you look at Vancouver, Toronto, San Francisco, Seattle, and many other jurisdictions. Next slide, please. Calgary is #1 city to live in North America. And we've just been ranked the 3rd most livable city in the world, taking the top spot for the entire continent. And according to The Economist, reported, it ranked 140 cities based on 30 qualitative and quantitative factors across 5 broad categories: stability, healthcare, culture and environment, education, and infrastructure. Of the main 5 categories, Calgary received a score of 100% for stability, 100% for healthcare, 90% for culture and entertainment, 100% for education, and 100% for infrastructure, resulting in a total score of 97.5. It's the reason that many who were born and raised here still choose this city as our city to raise our families in. Next slide, please. And the quality of life index, higher is better. It's an estimation of the overall quality of life by using an empirical formula, which takes into account the purchasing power index, again, higher is better. The pollution index, lower is better. The house price to income ratio, lower is better. And the cost of living index, lower is better. The safety index, higher is better, as is the healthcare index, higher is better. Traffic commute time index, lower is better, and the climate index, higher is better. Again, so you can see the comparative between Vancouver, Toronto, San Francisco, New York, Calgary scores favorably. Next slide, please. Calgary offers the quality of life. So consider what you like to do in your spare time. The hiking, the walking, the skiing, the snowboarding, all great assets in Calgary. Beautiful Rocky Mountains, only an hour drive from our city. Biking, we enjoy the largest bike pathway in North America. And with 333 days of sunshine every year, our outdoor quality of life is really fantastic. We have so many things to speak positively about in Calgary. And I love telling people that we have 333 days of sunshine every year. Next slide, please. Let's talk affordability. Today in Calgary, all 3 of my sons who are under the age of 30 will enjoy single-family home ownership. They, like I, grew up in Calgary knowing that we had access to high-quality education, opportunities for great employment at a high pay rate, and an ability to purchase a single-family home without question. Now in Canada, we're seeing some jurisdictions where young people are being priced out of the market. So if you have friends in other provinces that share the same dream of home ownership, tell them to seriously look at Calgary. You know, they can still get a home for under $600,000. We have an affordable market serving the very diverse communities we have, including intergenerational housing concepts. So when we travel across Canada on the talent attraction side, and we meet with newcomers in Toronto who are somewhat disappointed at the competitiveness of the job market or the unbelievably high cost of real estate, you know, I tell them, head west, my friends. It's where you need to be. Next slide, please. It's about celebrating diversity. So we're a young, diverse city. The average age is 37 years old, and we speak 120 languages, representing 240 different ethnic origins. Now you all know the reasons why you should also share the message of why Calgary is the most adventurous tech city in North America. We hope you all enjoy the following video. Thank you.
Okay, I don't think I have the video, Leslie.
Oh.
But that was fantastic. Who's excited to be in Calgary? Oh my goodness. If you have the video, Drea, I don't know if you do, but I think I actually saw the video at the Outlook that they did, and it was really like uplifting. So maybe I'll track it down and I'll share it out to the group afterwards. But thank you so much. That was so awesome to hear. These are things we talk about here every month, like all of these pieces that you are touching on. So it's really exciting to hear it from obviously the Calgary Economic Development side.
Well, I'm really glad that you enjoyed it. You know, I wear two hats as my job as Director of Client Excellence. The one hat is real estate and helping companies land in their commercial space here, and also helping with their employees to find their residential space. but on the talent side of the retention and attraction. So on the attraction side, traveling, locally and then nationally and internationally, spreading the news about Calgary's diversity of culture as well as job opportunity. There were a lot of people who thought that Calgary was really only an oil and gas city, right? And we're so much more than that now. And it's not about the energy companies walking away from Calgary. It's about the energy companies, investing a lot of capital into the renewables sector. And now we're proudly teaching others around the world how to do it in such a sustainable and great way. So, I guess Calgary was shamed at a time for some of the oil and gas practices and whatnot, but we happily stepped up to the plate and learned, and we're global leaders. And, Calgary is full of a province of can-do, hardworking people. We have the highest labor participation rate across Canada, which means those that are willing, able, and wanting to work are working because they want to generally give back to community and continue to be in the workforce. So I'm bullish on Calgary. I've always been bullish on Calgary.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. You hit on so many points there. Affordability, lifestyle, opportunity, like it's the whole package, right? And like we were talking at the very beginning of the event, like we talk to people from outside of Alberta every day and they're seeking these things, right? So just like you, we are waving the Calgary flag over here to come out west, and you can actually kind of make a path for yourself in an affordable way. So I thank you so much for your time. And I'm also, I also, it was interesting to hear, and just even you speaking now, how you are going internationally even to kind of, spread the word about Calgary. And I think that's exactly what we needed, right? Was this to change that narrative and story. So thank you for all of your hard work as well.
Oh, you're welcome. Companies today need to use a multi-prong approach to fill their talent pools. Yeah. So it isn't about posting on Indeed and thinking you're going to fill all the positions that you have, or giving it to one recruitment agency and thinking you'll fill your talent pools. It's by participating in a number of activations and really thinking how the talent today like to gather in things like hack-on events, for example, or dev network events, unique talent activations that where you can really tap into some of the brilliant talent that's around. And then, they like to gather, they like to be together, and they don't really need a lot. So you tell them about the interesting, disruptive work that's being done in some of our sectors in Calgary, how they can come to a city that's an international headquarters city, but still has a huge entrepreneurial bend to it. And you've seen that by all the venture capital that's come into our city over the last 2 years, and all the incubators and accelerators that are coming in to support the life sciences industry, the agriculture industry, the various sectors that we have, right? Things are booming in Calgary in that regard. So you just have to talk to somebody who's in their late 20s, early 30s. You talk to them about the importance of coming to an environment that is transitioning. Don't move here 10 or 15 years from now after we've already done all the exciting transitioning, right? It's fun to be a part of sort of the ground movement of the transition happening in Calgary. And I think I'd also like to touch on the fact that we have a mayor and council who are so committed to the transition and revitalization of our downtown. We have that $200 million strategy. We have the conversion of some of our vacant office buildings into residential and other adaptive uses. We have a dedicated downtown team. So, we have thought leaders in the real estate industry working with council, working with administration, so collaboratively, more so than I've ever seen in real estate. So there's a lot of bright minds all working collaboratively, and so for all those reasons, I remain bullish on Calgary.
Amazing. And I love the diversification, like so many industries that are I think from, if someone has only a view of Calgary maybe 20 years ago and thinks nothing has changed, it's very different now. And so much diversity in terms of industry and people and languages and past people can take here. So I'm very excited to see where Calgary goes in those next 10 to 15 years, like you had mentioned. So
I am too. When you think about our downtown core, Natasha, and the fact that we'll have indoor vertical farming in a downtown tower.
we talked about that at this event in the spring. When I saw that come out, I was blown
Really
away.
cool.
That is brilliant. Yeah, like
Right.
different things with this space that we have and
Yeah.
what we already have here, and being creative and the
And
city.
Platform Calgary and all of the innovation corridor that's occurring. It's really interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. Dana says, and also the plans for the Calgary transit system, right? The Green Line, the investment in Green Line. So our city has never been shy in continuing to invest in infrastructure. Even in the downturn during the COVID time, city still invested in infrastructure. Why? Because we're used to welcoming people to our city for decades. We've been doing it because of the oil and gas energy sector, right? We have the systems, the infrastructure, the people, and and we're diverse because we have been welcoming people from around the world for decades.
Exactly. Yeah. And those infrastructure gains, that's a big thing we talk about here too. As real estate investors, we want to know what's happening around us that's going to either, bring more people to that area or jobs as well. So yeah, we've been talking about the Green Line for a very long time. So excited to see that up and running. And, the ring road as well, getting that project finally complete will really
and all the economic development we're doing with the Indigenous communities now, right? Tsuut'ina Nation, developing Taza and whatnot there is fantastic and super exciting. There's just so many things happening in Calgary, the Cancer Center, the BMO expansion, right? And all of the development that will be done in the Rivers Entertainment District, right? Around the Stampede grounds.
Right.
If you haven't had a chance to hear Calgary Municipal Land Corporation speak about their plans there, it's pretty exciting. Kate Thompson and her group are really have some exciting work underway.
Very exciting. I'm just so excited for Calgary. And that's why it was just perfect timing to have you here. And I think hopefully everyone enjoyed that. You covered so much and so many topics. Us as a group will probably dive into them individually here over the next few months. But I know your time is very valuable. And I just thank you so much again for being here this evening. And we hope to have you again in the future. Yeah, absolutely. We hope to have you on again. But thank you so much for your time.
Oh, you're so welcome. And, there's a lot of videos, Natasha, on our website, calgaryeconomicdevelopment.com, or on livetechlovelife.com. You can see sector videos, you can see sector flat pages, you can see all kinds of videos that we have produced. And we really, we put them together for the community to use and share and, be proud of Calgary and share our message. Calgary Economic Development can't do it on its own. So be an ambassador with us, or if you want to become a Team Calgary partner of Calgary Economic Development, which is a program, companies that believe and support the economic development work that we do. We have a great Team Calgary partnership program. So if that's of interest to any companies, happy to have them reach out and talk to me about that.
Absolutely. We talk about the Calgary Economic Development every single month. I think we post something, we are constantly steering people to that website. There's a huge source of data and research, and it's a nice place that has everything all in one spot, right? So yeah, daily emails, meetings, we talk about it all the time here. So thank you for the amazing work that all the teams do on those presentations and research. We do use it all the time. So
oh, good. I'm so happy to hear that. Really, I'm so happy to hear that. Our marketing team won some global awards for putting together some of that, some of those videos. So I'm really proud of the work that team has done, for sure.